Hey, everyone.
Hi, everybody. How we doing? We're not doing so good. We're both of us have the giggles, and both of us, or I should say, neither of us know what in the world to talk about. We went through that whole 10-part series and covered what we thought were the high points, and you know what? We're going to talk some more about it.
Well, not too much, just a little bit, but I have a story to tell you. Oh my gosh. So, here's my story. My new shoes that I bought that cost a fortune from Zappos, I got them a light blue. Big mistake, huge mistake. They get so filthy. It's crazy. So I thought, well, I did wash them, but they didn't dry right away because, I live in my minivan, and, if I had a sink, I could do that and put them on my patio, but I don't have one of those.
I have a feeling that Lee needs an apartment.
I'm not ready. I'll tell you. So we were at Walmart, and I thought, well, let me get a pair of shoes for the time being till they dry, and then I could rotate them. Well, dummy me, he warned me, don't get white. Well, I did get white. They were 11.
But that's not the biggest problem, not by a long shot.
So I got white, and they were $11.98 or something. So I wore them. They were fine until I thought, well, okay, now I'm going to rotate them. And the white had already gotten kind of dirty. So the last time we did laundry, I put them in the laundry. Well, I just got them out today. Oh my God. I do not have stinky feet, and I've already had a shower today. But I put socks on. I went back in my van. I thought, what smell?
She stuck one of those shoes under my nose. And I don't think I have ever had a packet of smelling salts placed under my nose. But I found out what it's kind of sort of like. It was like, it hit me like I want to say spoiled sauerkraut.
It's rancid smell. And it wasn't my feet. Was it because they're Walmart shoes?
Oh, it's terrible.
I've never smelled. Well, they're in a bag. I gotta throw them out. There's never.
No, they're.
And I put them through the laundry. And even you said, you go, well, maybe it's a laundry soap. Oh no, my clothes smell fine.
Yeah.
Don't they?
She actually put them inside 2 bags. Thank goodness.
I know.
She double bagged them.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
so now
man.
I'm without shoes. And then out in the parking lot here where we are, there are some real pigs. I just really got to say that. There was a whole bunch of trash on there, and I went to walk, and I accidentally kicked this thing, and chocolate milk went all over my new blue shoes. My expensive Zappos shoes. I'm they're the fresh foam. So now I had to alcohol my feet twice. I'm stuck with these shoes. Yeah. I'll never buy Walmart shoes. I can't. They're the only. I've never dealt with anything like it.
I don't know what those shoes were made of, but
I know.
I don't even want to think about it.
Okay, so that's my story.
Whew.
So we were in Walmart. I wore them in Walmart. I could smell them all the way up. I'm 5'3", 5 feet. I'm walking around. I bet people were trying to get away from me. Did you smell them when we were in Walmart?
Actually, no, I didn't. Thank goodness.
He didn't know, and I'm walking around going, oh, I don't know if anybody smells this.
They were bad.
They were really bad. So, yeah. Well, I had to alcohol my feet twice. And then I actually had to get some of the hand sanitizer. That seemed to take care of it. Yeah. Okay, that's my story. That's my shoe story. Oh, my gosh.
True story.
I've never had smelly feet before in my life. That was really bad.
When Lee came back from the back of her vehicle after having kicked that small container of, I guess it was it chocolate pudding or chocolate milk? What?
It was chocolate milk.
Chocolate
It went
something.
up my shin. It saturated my shoes.
All over her wheel, her tire.
Oh yeah. It's been one of those days. And so that's the reason I put on the white shoes. He helped me kind of with water because I I was in tears. I'm like, today is just not my day.
No,
and then with the smelly feet. But now I'm laughing a lot. So, but we did go into Walmart, and I took videos and photos of all kinds of things. We don't really want to talk too much about prepping, but we did hear somebody send us a link again about, and what was the headline?
A warning from a farmer. And this letter that was read by this other farmer gal on YouTube, it told why by fall we're going to be in a problem for food. The prices are going up. They said the reason that you're seeing egg shelving in the store bare is because the chickens population is getting to be less and less. And these small-time farmers, 40, 80, 120 acres, they can't make it anymore. They said they just can't make a profit. And so they're going to be planting less. There will be less of a harvest. There will be less butchered meats available, whether that be pork or beef or chicken. And they painted a very dire picture.
Well, one of the reasons was the fuel.
Well, one of the big reasons, yeah.
Right. Was because the small farmers can't afford. I mean, it takes a lot of fuel to run a farm. And then they got to deliver it. So basically they said they've had to send their livestock to slaughter because they can't feed them.
And it didn't look real promising. So,
and she also mentioned that it takes a lot of people don't understand farming or keeping livestock, and
don't understand farming. What's the big deal? I go into this Wal-Mart store over here and I find a nice cellophane wrapped package, and it's cool as anything. I have no idea where it come from, but I don't really care. Well, there's a lot more to it than that, as most of you know.
What is the name of that, of keeping animals? There's a name of that. With
animal husbandry.
Husbandry, yes. There's a lot to that. I mean, if you lose so many hundreds of thousands of cattle from heat, and you destroy like 500,000 chickens and eggs, it takes a long time to get those back. They have to produce more babies and more cows. Yeah.
They made a personal estimate, just their own personal thought, that by fall, a dozen eggs, just large eggs, a dozen box or package, whatever you call it, they think it'll be about $12 a dozen.
I know.
$1 an egg. Now, even if they're a little bit high on their estimate, wow, that's quite a difference.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you the things that we were looking at, and some of them we bought. Canned foods and the best foods to store up, and personal products. Now, if you're in a house, yes, I mean, these things you should be stocking up anyways. The government tells you to do it. So these are things, if you want to stock up on, to go ahead and do. Rice is easy to cook. It doesn't take that long, and it does have nutrition and it'll fill you up. But if you're going to do rice, you want to do white rice, because brown rice, other types of rice has a lot of oil in it. They can go bad quicker.
Right.
Another thing too, if you're going to keep cans of tomatoes, get them in jars, because if they go over a certain point, it does. There's so much acid in it.
Yeah, because of the acidity.
Right. I know. Yeah. But, I just showed you, I showed like cheaper cartons or packs of coffee. Just put some extra coffee away. We all like our coffee. And, if things do, get tough, it's nice to have coffee. It's nice to have things that will make you happy a little bit, to have it every once in a while.
A little bit of pleasure.
I know. Yeah. And I didn't show any, but candy, hard candy. Sometimes a little something sweet can kind of calm people down.
It certainly does me.
I know, yes. Yeah, he likes his candy. Me too, but I try to stay a little bit.
I don't eat too much.
Yes.
But a dear friend of
Psych.
mine,
No.
a dear friend of mine bought me some sea salt
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
chocolate, and it was dark chocolate.
Yeah. Do you still have it in
Caramels.
here?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Dark chocolate caramels.
I know where his goodie drawer is.
Oh, those are so wonderful. Oh my goodness.
I know. Well, I wanted to get him advice. If you want to, so he buys me things so much that I wanted to buy him something. Let's see, what do we got here? Sea salt caramels. He loves caramels. And what was the other thing I bought you? He loves these, yeah.
Clausen dill pickles.
Oh, look, Abby, she wants some chocolate. Woo!
Abby thought you were getting out a box of a bag of treats, I'm sure.
Treats. What else do you like? Oh, here's something else he likes. Let's reveal.
What? Is this pick on Paul Day?
No.
What? I love these things.
Yes.
Yogurt
And when we
covered raisins.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did I interrupt you?
No.
Okay. You know who you are. We were both agreed that we kind of interrupt each other a lot, doing the videos. But yeah, he loves these. And at the end, we're going to talk about some childhood. We got some stories, childhood stories we're going to talk about. Now, I did see this video. Okay. And this guy, he's a prepper guy, and he's this big burly guy. And he was talking, he goes, now, he's talking about hygiene products that you need to put away because they might not be around. And he has a big storage of them. But when he got to the women part, he goes, and women, you need to get your hygiene products. And I thought,
is that a big secret of some kind?
Don't say tampons. Don't say Kotex tap. I mean, guys, okay, let's have a discussion on this because I laughed because I thought guys do not like to say tampons. What's the deal? I mean, you like girls, but the tampons, you can't say tampons, right? He won't say them.
You can see enough commercials on TV for crying out loud.
I know. Guys,
what's the big deal? Oh,
Abby wants them too. Yeah. But guys, isn't that funny? Girls, do you think that too? Isn't it kind of silly that, when we're young, we have to use them. I don't use them anymore, but when we're young, we have to use tampons. But I did include that in my Wal-Mart pictures. Yeah. And the Kotex pads are great for, like, if somebody's got a big wound, and you slap it on there to soak up the blood. Yeah. And there are uses for tampons. What are the uses for tampons?
Bloody nose.
We're all adults. We can talk about this. But I just think it's hilarious. Guys are so afraid. They don't want to buy them. Ooh,
Right.
Did you ever have to buy any? You don't want to talk about it, probably.
Well, there is a old story, and my sister in the place that I won't mention will remember. Well, she may not remember it, but I'm sure I've repeated the story. One Sunday afternoon, or maybe Sunday morning, my mom realized that we were having company, and we were very, very low or out of napkins. So when I was growing up, we had a little corner market. It was called Chester's Market. She said, Paul, would you hop on your bike and go down to Chester's and get us a nice big package of napkins? I said, sure. So she gave me a few bucks.
What was the name of the store?
Chester.
Was it
Chester.
A corner store?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Was it like
great place to get penny candy. But anyway,
okay.
I ran down to Chester's and I came back and I had it in a bag, the box and of napkins. And I said, my older sister, Judy, happened to be present as well. And she must have been, I think I was probably 12, maybe 13 years old. And so that would have made my older sister 16 or so, something like that. And I said, Mom, I got very special napkins. Aren't you proud of me? And I pulled the box out, and it was sanitary napkins. And I said, these are special napkins. And I didn't tell her that the clerk that was checking me out, the lady was kind enough to not ask what in the world was a 12-year-old boy buying sanitary napkins for. But But anyway, my mom and older sister got a great chuckle out of that at my expense, and I finally began to find out what the world was all about, and had a mini talk about that time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did you get the talk after that? You were probably pretty small, though.
No, I never got the talk.
Never got the talk. Did you guys get the talk? I got the talk after the fact of, like, needing what we're talking about. Yeah, I got the talk after. I was totally confused.
By the way, has anyone noticed anything different about Lee today?
Other than my stinky feet. No, they're clean now.
No, her stinky feet are gone, and the reason for them are in
this
her
is an
vehicle,
odd video
thank
today,
goodness.
isn't it? But yeah, hey.
But isn't she beautiful with her new hairdo? I love it.
He requested
Love it very
wig.
much.
He requested it.
Yeah.
I said, which one? He goes, the red one, of course.
Oh, Lee, I
What?
just thought of something.
What?
You're not going to be happy.
What else is new today?
I didn't turn this on.
Okay, turn it on now. I has checked mine too. It'll work.
Yep.
You guys are okay.
She just said power on, connected.
on.
So I hope that what I've been saying has been recorded.
Well, we get the rec. Well, what do you guys think? Can you hear him better? Probably. You can better hear him.
Can you hear me better? Can you hear me now?
I know.
Can you hear me now? Well,
So
we'll hope
we
so.
went through the whole grocery store. We tried to get the best. Now we got the cans of food. There's a lot. Actually, last month we bought a lot of canned meats because we weren't sure once we got to our area, but they need to front those stores. We were the shelves. We were like trying to everything was. They make a mess in there. The customers make a mess.
And when you see some of these shots and videos, Lee did a lot of fronting before she made the shot.
shelves.
So
Yeah, I fronted the
that is
shelves.
not representative of what the mess they were before you
Right.
started shooting. So,
But the packages, there's more and more foods that are in packages. And for nomads, and this is really a nomad channel, but we talk to you, a lot of you live in homes. and yeah, I mean, this is applicable for everybody. Nomads have to conserve space. So the packets are really nice.
Yeah.
Like we got the rice packets, you got the meat packets.
tuna.
And even just odd foods are in packets now.
But I learned something on a website that I saw yesterday where a gentleman was making his suggestions for good things to put away to prep.
Yeah.
And he said, believe it or not, there is available on the shelving at the local grocery canned bacon. I had never heard of such a thing. Well, whenever I hear bacon, immediately I pay attention. So I looked when we were in Wal-Mart today, and sure enough, it was actually a product made by the wonderful folks at Spam, but it said it was absolutely real bacon that was canned with a shelf life of a few years. So
Wow.
I didn't buy any, but I'm sure I will before.
We'll be on the lookout for it.
You bet. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned Spam. Do you like Spam, Paul?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
It's not the greatest thing in the world, but if it's fried up and put in
Ooh, yeah.
with some scrambled eggs or something, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? If I was hungry, that would
Oh,
be a
yeah.
great meal. That wouldn't bother me a bit.
Right. And it keeps so long. It's awful salty.
Well, that's
Spam is very, very salty.
probably the
yeah.
main preservative in that. Hopefully, no
Right.
chemicals, but maybe there are. I don't know.
Now, there's a coffee. I'm trying to kind of go through what we looked at. Vegetables and soups.
Yeah.
Make sure that, and you're probably make sure that you rotate your cans, your food. So when you get new, to kind of put them in the back and bring them forward. Look at your cans. Make sure. What would be a good sign that a can of food has been spoiled?
If the pot if the top has been popped
Okay.
If it's no longer
Yeah.
indented, but it's
Yeah.
popped up, that's
Yeah.
not a good sign. And that could mean botulism, and you don't want any part of that. That's for sure.
And you can die from, it can be fatal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I don't like to get dented cans because you don't know if it really dented so much that it broke the seal and then like the metal got inside the food. And so I don't like to do metal.
And you know what? Speaking of cans,
Yeah.
it's not a bad idea to have at least 2 additional spare can openers. You know, the handheld kind. Guys, help me out. I shouldn't say guys and gals that were in the service. Help me out. Was it called a little P47?
It's one of those
the
things.
can opener that you do about 1/8 of an inch by 1/8 of an inch around the lip of the can. Wouldn't hurt to have a couple of those on hand either.
Do you have any?
I have one somewhere here.
I've got a few of them.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
They work very well. Better than using your knife to try to open a tin can and cutting your thumb off.
But you can do that. You can do a knife, and then you just,
Yeah.
And then you got to make sure you sharpen your knife back up again. Yeah.
A lot easier to have a couple of spare can openers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I also show those dried foods, those the dried butter, eggs, and
are those Augustin Farms for one brand anyway?
That Wal-Mart has contracted with. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, one site that I used to use all the time when I was prepping was Emergency Essentials. They're a company out of Utah. And Mormons, they're 2 or 3 years, they're required to store up food. And so I found those to be really good. And they have all kinds of products. I think that's where I got those little can openers.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, can openers, all kinds of stuff for, if you're off the grid, which we're off the grid, but we still have electricity because we have solar.
Thankfully, yeah.
Yeah. So one story we were talking about, what stories do you have? I mean, I've got a lot of stories to tell, but I remember one that always sticks in my mind. We were talking about brothers and sisters and stuff. I was the youngest, and my brother, he was irritated by me quite a bit, I think, if you're watching. Hey. We were out playing, and I was doing something, and he goes, "You dink." And I was like, and my parents, it was like a Saturday night. My parents were playing cards with their friends. I used to play on Saturday night with their friends. And I stomped in there and I said, my brother called me a dink. And they go like, and I said, "What is that? It sounded bad." So, and they said, "Well, go look it up." So I got the dictionary. I couldn't find it in there. I still don't know what it is. Even you said, "Well, what is a dink?" I don't know what a dink is, but my brother called me that. It was a flashball moment.
I think a dink is kind of like a dork.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Does that help at all?
He irritated me quite a bit. I was his younger sister.
That's what brothers and sisters are for.
But no, you can have a good big brother, or you can have one that calls you a dink. Yeah. And that was really nice. The thing was that his best friend, he was his age and he lived right next to me, but I had a crush on him. So I was always hanging around.
Oh.
He'd be like, "Get out of here." Yeah, I was always trying. His name was Ron. And I'd always, try to get his attention.
Nothing worse than a little sister that you can't get rid of.
He was cute, too.
Oh, whatever.
He was really cute. So, okay, well, that's my story. But I used to live by the railroad tracks, pretty close to the railroad tracks. And it was, that back in those days, they called them hobos. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There'd be hobos on the train. We'd wave at them because we didn't, they're probably very dangerous. But
we're modern day hobos,
we
aren't we?
are.
Even though we don't ride the trains.
I know. Ride the rails. I hear that's really dangerous now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they'll slit your throat. Riding the rails. There's crazy people on there now. But back in the day, it was, I think there was wasn't there kind of a code that was going on back in the day when
the
you were...
hobo code of honor?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, one night, I remember it was a big deal. We all heard about it. The longest train ever was going to go through. It was like, I mean, they had probably like, a whole bunch of engines in the beginning carrying all these trains. And we actually stayed up, and the whole neighborhood watched this train go by. There were a lot of hobos. We were like waving at them, they were waving back. Yeah. They were on the longest train.
There you go.
They probably have these big stories to tell. We rode on the longest train ever. Yes. So what's another story you have to tell?
Oh boy.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm ill prepared.
Oh no, think of something quick. We'll wait. See.
I remember
okay.
talking about embarrassing stories.
Oh, okay.
Other than sanitary napkins. I remember one spring day, I was out playing baseball, probably. One of the first nice days, but
You
it was
like
very.
baseball, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It was very muddy and wet and what have you. Well, my mother belonged to I think it was a pinochle card group, and it was her turn to have the ladies over. Well, I made this beautiful slide into second base and got muddy from head to toe. It was pretty bad. So I went running to the house. I don't know how old I was, probably 10, something like that, 9 or 10 years old. And I'll never forget it. I walked into the house and my mother looked at me, and she's got all her friends around, and she said, "Young man, you take off all those clothes right now and put them in the closet or the laundry room or whatever." We didn't have a laundry room. Must have been the furnace room. And
It was in the kitchen, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. So I had to walk all
Yeah.
through these ladies. I said, "Mom, right now?" She said, "You're not dragging all that mud back into the house." And the ladies are all, kind of giggling and whatever. So I obediently stripped down to my underwear and paraded through the house to the bathroom and jumped into the bath and got myself cleaned up. But I couldn't believe she did that to me. Oh my gosh, how embarrassing.
And it left an indelible imprint.
I'm sorry?
It left an indelible
That's
imprint.
Right up here.
I haven't said that word in a lot. Indelible? An indelible imprint onto your brain.
Yeah.
Did you get over it?
I did. Well, you tell me. Maybe I never got over it.
Well, could have made you an
know.
exhibitionist, but it didn't.
We lived through it.
Yes, we did. We lived through it, yeah. So...
Well, why don't we see some of those photos and videos and...
Well, they've been watching them all this time. We're just here and there. We just show them here and there with any other stories.
Oh, I didn't know that's how you were doing it. Okay.
Oh, well.
You're way ahead of me.
Tell that some of the videos.
All right.
Not been paying attention.
Right.
No.
Got to get with it.
Yeah. Well, we lived in a part of... When I grew up, we lived in a part of the country that had a president, and he had his house, his museum, and a park that was named after him too. So, kind of grew up in a really nice, a nice neighborhood. It was in a nice neighborhood.
Now, wasn't that President McKinley?
No, President Hayes.
Oh, Rutherford.
Rutherford.
Good old Ruthie.
Yes. So I know. So, we had a lot of playtime. There was like this big structure. It was like a gazebo, only there was another name for it. But we used to, when I was growing up, we used to have all kinds, Parks and Rec was pretty good. And we used to have like once a week, we had like a schedule of events, things to do, activities. And we used to have like pet shows. I remember we had a doll show. My doll won 3rd prize.
Oh, cool. I
know. Does any of you gals out there remember Betsy Wetsy? Well, I had a Betsy Wetsy. My mom actually, I got to tell you this. Okay, I got to tell you this. My parents when they moved and they came out to see me, they brought me the Betsy Wetsy. They kept it. It was in good shape.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I had it. Every one of my children, all the way down, were terrified because it looked so real. They were terrified of that.
Oh.
They were terrified of that doll.
Yeah.
The only one in my family that wasn't was my granddaughter, the one in Ohio. Yeah, she loved it. She'd drag it around, when she got. I would let her play with it.
Yeah.
She'd drag it around, and
Cool.
yeah, she really liked it. But all my other kids, they couldn't believe that I had this crazy doll. And when I left to be a nomad, I did get rid of it. I just threw it away. I mean, nobody wanted it. Now they're saying, why did you get rid of it? I said, nobody would have taken that doll. You all thought it was like creepy Chucky doll or something, like it was going to come after them or something. But yeah, if you're my age, you remember that. Leave in the comments if you had a Betsy Wetsy. So you guys didn't have dolls.
No, we had army guys.
Right.
We did wars.
Right. Like my son, he had all the He-Man toys. Those were his toys. And then my youngest son too. But
Okay.
yeah. Yep. My daughter had all of the Strawberry Shortcake dolls. Yeah. I think I bought myself a couple of them. Sorry, I'll admit it as an adult. I thought they were really cute.
Not familiar with those. Strawberry
Shortcake. Oh, they had an odor. It was like
shoes.
Well, the Strawberry Shortcake, she smelled like strawberry.
Oh,
Lemon meringue, she smelled like lemon.
okay.
There was raspberry tart. There was. Do you remember these girls? I mean, with your kids, I'm sure a lot of you were my age. That your kids bought the lemon meringue. Oh, I love that one.
Mm.
It was some kind of a lime. Yeah, every fruit you get that peach something, and yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So okay, well, any more stories
I
to
have
tell?
no more stories. No.
I will mention that somebody in comments had said, "Hey, we get to see the front of Paul's van. We want to see the back." So we promise that we will get this going back here. It's kind of a mess right now because you have your solar things and your boxes.
We should have the little tour at the time that I
Yes.
install the solar and include that in there.
Right. We'll do a van tour of Paul because a lot has changed back here. I don't know, and you probably can't see very well, but
No,
a lot
probably
has
not.
changed. Yeah. Abby's back here sleeping. Yeah, so we just wanted to just give you a little chit chat and talk about. You guys love the Wal-Mart hauls. So instead of showing you what we bought, we just showed you what we were thinking of buying. A few things in the video we did buy. But these are things that are good to prep with and carry.
Including the totally empty egg shelving.
Yeah, that was totally empty.
Still empty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't show any produce because, produce, I mean, you can't really store that. Yeah.
Unless it's a squash or something.
Yeah,
Potatoes maybe, but
Yeah, I mean, even potatoes. I've got some potatoes in my minivan and it gets warm in there. And it's, they're red potatoes. They're okay, but I kind of feel them. They're probably in the next couple weeks. I need to fix them. Yeah, to fix that.
Okay.
Apples, if you're going to do any kind of produce and not have refrigeration, apples, cucumbers will only last maybe a couple days, but apples will last a good couple weeks or longer in the heat of a van. Yeah.
good deal.
Yeah, nomad life is so different if you're in a house. Nomad life is so different, and that includes if you're prepping or stashing things away just in case. Seriously, you want to go with the same things, all of you who are living full-time in your minivan or your van, but you're just going to have to bring it down just a little bit and not, you can't carry so much.
Right.
And a lot of it's going to have to be, your space is going to have to be water. So, yeah, well, we didn't really want to too much talk about survival, but, coming up, we're probably still going to mention it. And, because these are things in the news right now. These are things that a lot of people are talking about. So we can bring you, like, what we hear and what's going on out there. So,
Yeah.
and what's going on with us. And we love you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. It really helps me out. Now, I do still have neck gaiters, and I have arm gaiters, and there's a sale going on my exercise videos. And got the book, How to Live in a Minivan, the Minivan Lee Way. And I'm writing another one, which is one of the reasons it's really a time consuming to do these. We're not really traveling right now. We're saving on gas, so we're not
hunkering down.
We're not traveling. In June I spent over $600 in gas and fuel, and then in May, and then in June I spent another over $500.
You know, I have a spending app.
Yeah.
And I checked the other day, and so far in the month of July, where are we? July 11, I think?
Yeah.
I've spent $30 on gasoline. It's wonderful.
I know it. I know. Well, I think I've spent a little bit more, but not too much.
Yeah.
I've only spent probably about the same. Yeah. We're staying in around one area.
And if we get down to even 3/4 of a tank, we fill it up.
Yes.
Keep them filled up as much as we can.
And we're keeping our water jugs filled too, just in case.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're just keeping our water jugs filled, and we're doing it for the 25 cents. We found a place, and we're just doing it for 25 cents just to save some money here and there. Yeah. We almost went to the cinema today. Did you see the Elvis? There's a new Elvis movie out. How long has it been since you've been to the cinema?
Well, first of all, we in Michigan didn't call it the cinema.
What'd you call it?
The movie.
Oh. Okay.
Or the matinee.
Oh, okay.
Or, something like that. But anyway, I can't remember the last movie I went to. The movie or the cinema to see. That would be a lot of fun.
So we're gonna go. We might go see Elvis, and then there's the new Jurassic, the new Jurassic Park. So we might go see that. We're just trying to do things that are like in the areas where we're at, and just and do things that don't.
There's a number of things that we can go out and see, so just to have a change of pace would be nice once in a while.
You know, because other than that, we walk around Wal-Mart and take photos, stuff like that. We watch shelves, see what's empty, and
take photos of canned goods. Do we know how to have a good time or what?
Yes. Huh? I recommend it to everybody. Go take photos of food. Yes. Okay, guys, we love you.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah.